Okay, hey everyone, it's great to see everyone here. It's an amazing day for us to come back to San Francisco with NEARCON. We started in San Francisco with Near AI. We then went global and fully distributed. And then we've been bringing back more and more of our attention to here as AI is growing. As Chris mentioned, we are entering the Agentic Era. We are entering a world where AI is becoming our interface to compute. And so we want to talk about how Near is providing a unified commerce layer for all of us to really benefit from all of these advancements. We have seen a speed run through a technology innovation. The AI technology went from a back-end feature in your search and recommendation, right, in your Googles and Amazons, where it was, something that was hidden from the user and really just provided you results, to a chat application, right, launched in 2022, that would give you some answers, but you still needed to go and act on them, to something that we've seen over last year, where these AI systems are starting to take action, right? They're becoming agentic, they're able to go and actually do things, to something that we're starting to see as an emergent property where everybody now has an agent, and these agents are starting to work together to do bigger things, and so have this multi-agent coordination. And as this happening, AI went, again, from just being a feature to something that is in front of the users and in front of people and becoming their direct interface to all of this computing. And then as they become and talk to each other, my agent is talking to your agent, they're becoming economic actors. They're becoming effectively negotiating and figuring out how to do things together, and they require economic tools. And so this means that commerce itself, right, the way we do economic activity in the world is changing, it's compressing, right? Where traditionally we would have a ton of different applications that are fully siloed, that have different information about you, different context, and you need to switch between them, right? Your Amazon doesn't know about your eBay purchases, doesn't know about your Google, to different tabs when you're switching it to filling out checkout forms and credit cards. All of this is starting to transform, where your agent has all of your context and is able to go and do all these actions across all of these platforms if needed to really get results done. If you're like me, you have lots of messages and emails, there's invoices, bills, company, personal, all of this coming in and all of the different directions. Before, you're handling it manually, you're figuring out things might go stale, things update. In business case, it's a whole process. Again, this is something that agents can consume all this information, prioritize, and execute. And with crypto, right, with crypto had a promise that it will solve a lot of the challenges that traditional finance and traditional commerce have, the faster transactions, cross-border, all of these promises that we've had, but historically they've been highly cumbersome to use. It's been really hard for normal people to use crypto. And although, as Near, we've been trying to solve this, it still continued to be hard because even if you're on Near, you still want to use other applications, other chains, other assets. So all of this is starting to compress now into your AI agent being this interface that now can facilitate economic activity across the whole variety of things on internet. And so that's what we call intent-driven execution. That's really what commerce is becoming. Now, I recently moved from Lisbon to San Francisco, and I have a family. I have 2 really small kids and my wife, beautiful Erica, and and it's a very stressful, as you can imagine, with 2 kids under 2, to do this. And I thankfully have amazing Maggie to support me to do this, but not everybody does. And so I want to share an example how this looks like when you actually have this agent on your side, right? You have this intent to move to San Francisco, and so you leave effectively a message to your agent, and it takes from there. It creates a full plan. It's able to figure out exactly all the actions, some of the things that I forgot to do, for example, cancel my utilities, And it figures out where to move. It finds the right neighborhoods and asks you questions to clarify where you want to go. It creates a plan on the go, creates a user interface for you to track it, how it's going, and then goes and executes this on your behalf. Now, your agent will not be able to do everything, right? In this case, shipping boxes internationally is a very complicated process, right? Everything from picking up from your apartment to getting it shipped to customs, et cetera. Usually it would take lots of steps, lots of headache. Now, if we have an agentic marketplace where agents can actually hire each other, it doesn't matter which currency they're paying. You're just able to pay, in my case, in Near, and then get it all handled by other agents in this ecosystem. So this is kind of the idea that you can have your agent working on your behalf, transacting and interacting with other agents, and getting things done really easily so you don't have to think about it. So for this to happen, agents need a new infrastructure. They need an agent-native infrastructure that is optimized for how they operate on internet, right? So far, internet being really designed for people to click and browse, to fill out the forms. It's, how many times you've clicked on "I'm not a bot" on the web page. It's really, again, this fragmented execution experience where, if you're trying to do something, you need to go and visit 5 different websites, compare results, maybe fill in one thing to another. And we have this challenge that blockchain, again, it's had the great promise, but it hasn't delivered on it because everything you do on chain is transparent. And so if I'm, booking my place in San Francisco or paying for moving, this is not something that I want everybody in the world to know and see who am I paying for these transactions. So transparent transactions that blockchain historically been doing is really not realistic for usual use cases for day-to-day usage. And so we need a new intent-based APIs. We need agents to be able to use this without needing to go around Cloudflare and other kind of anti-bot protections. We need neutral rails that compose to each other, that work with each other, not really try to silo. And we need a confidential AI and execution to make sure that all your data stays yours, stays private, and really doesn't leak all this information to everyone. This is what Near is, right? This is what we call unified commerce layer, where we're bringing all of these pieces together, where AI and intents converge into new agentic commerce. This is where agents act on your behalf of businesses, on behalf of governments, and they bring all of these assets, all of these resources, all of this action together. Now, we're going to release few products today. The first one is something that we've been working on for a long time to bring forward. And this is something what we believe will become effectively a super app for all your financial and over time, all your needs. So we're releasing Near.com. We're introducing it first time. This is a place where you don't need to think about blockchains. You don't need to think about gas fees. You don't need to think about complexity of blockchain. You can just use it as your main wallet. You have all your assets, have Bitcoin, Zcash, USDC, et cetera. And you can use it very easily, and it's available today. I will let Alex Shevchenko to dive in more about all the functionality that this packs. There's a lot more on the roadmap as well, including fiat and really ability to pay for anything day to day. Now, I mentioned it's great to have your crypto wallet that is chain abstracted, that removes this fragmentation that crypto has created. But we still see everything that's happening on chain, right? Personally, I have hundreds of accounts affected to de-link all of my transactions, right? Every counterparty I'm transacting with, I need a new wallet to do that. And this is extremely cumbersome. I have like a whole suite of scripts to just do that. Now, today we're also introducing a confidential mode. Confidential mode is ability to have all your balances, all of your transfers, and all of your trading fully confidential. This means that nobody outside of kind of our security system is able to see how much money you have and what transactions you're doing. This enables you, individual, to hold your money there, and it enable agents to transact from there as well, businesses to accept money and not reveal all of their business intelligence to everyone. Now, we talked about agents. One of the challenges with agents right now is that they're extremely insecure. This has been, if you're on Twitter, in this AI bubble, you see people getting hacked all the time, their information getting leaked. It actually creates a really bad rep for crypto because most of the hacks are promoting meme coins and crypto scams. And so this is one of the challenges for us to fix, is actually to bring AI that's built with blockchain mindset, secure by design, adversarially protected, ensures that your data doesn't leak, your credentials don't leak. There's no way for a third party to really infiltrate your AI agent. This is what we call user-owned AI. It's AI that's on your side and not easily manipulatable. Now, this is only an alpha. I would say this is, for those who want to be on bleeding edge. We have IronClaw. This is effectively delivering for that vision. But tread carefully. We're going to be releasing 1.0 in coming weeks. Now, this comes as a, you can run it yourself on your own desktop, on your own computer. But this is not a very user-friendly. And again, for those who've been in the AI community, you've seen people going crazy at buying their own Mac minis so they can install these agents on them so they can run 24/7. Again, thousands of dollars. Takes a long time to actually buy them now because there is a shortage. And so what we're releasing today is using our confidential inference and hosting, the NEAR Cloud, to host all of the personal agents. You can host OpenClaw and IronClaw. The starter pack is free, right? You can start it today, and you just pay for your inference. Or there's a basic plan, which includes a bunch of credits for inference, and a pro plan for $200 for a lot more juice from this. You can use it, and you can effectively launch your personal AI agent and start having it help you with work, offloading tasks. And as it gets smarter, as it evolves, as IronClaw increases in its capabilities, you'll be able to leverage it more and more in your day-to-day life. Finally, I mentioned we have not everything your AI agent can do. It doesn't have some context. It doesn't have some skills. It doesn't have some access. Sometimes you need to actually do something in the physical world, and it needs to actually call another organization to do that. And so Marketplace is really bringing this concept of intent and concept of AI together. This is a place where agents can express in natural language intent the goal you want to do, and then find a counterparty, find another agent that will actually go and do it. The cool thing is this is unbounded. You can ask it to build a space station on Mars if you have money to do that. But to start with, you can do marketing, design, development, and for the NEARCON, we have launched a set of competitions for agents to build applications. And so there's a number of competitions with a 1,000 NEAR prize for your agents to try it out. So I'm really excited because this actually brings all of the vision we outlined at Redacted end of 2024 to really showcase how agents are going to start doing the work on users' behalf and then coordinating with each other to really create this larger system. And it uses NEAR token at the core. It uses it for reputation. It uses it for unit of exchange. And so all of this really is powered by the unified stack that NEAR been building, right? Obviously, blockchain has been around since 2018. We launched it in 2020. We showcased in December last year that it can handle 1 million transactions per second. To give you an idea, 1 million transactions per second is all of the commercial activity combined of all of the Visa, MasterCard, Stripe, and I think like 5x that. That's what 1 million transactions per second. We can handle all your agents transacting, no problem. This brings confidential execution to power the confidential mode. And I'll let Bowen talk about more, but this is all outlining how Nightshade v3, the next version of our core protocol, will look like. Intents have been a massive enabler for the ecosystem to really unite all of these different chains and assets. It has really been one of the few products in crypto that achieved PMF over the past few months, and it's been processing about $3 billion of volume a month, bringing effectively all of those different users and assets into one place. This is what powering Near.com. This is what powering market for agents. Finally, confidential AI. This is something we released in December, offering an ability for anyone to use AI and not worry where their data is going. This is powered by decentralized GPU marketplace and allows you to have verifiable computation and verifiable and private agentic workflows. All of these will be covered by Bowen, Alex Shevchenko, and George, respectively. Now, at the core, we have the Near token. Near token is how we really coordinated this whole system. As of today, we're going to enable intense revenue to start being captured in Near, meaning everyone who uses intense infrastructure is going to effectively buy Near through their transactions. Now, it's going to be distributed to third parties who are providing the order flow, and some of this will be captured by the Near ecosystem as well. And we're going to be talking and tweeting about it in a few hours. Near.com as well will be, all the fees are going to be going directly into Near. So Near becoming a place where the revenue is starting to flow. Same for GPU marketplace as it kind of expands, and agentic marketplace as well. So you can think of this, all of these marketplaces, they really all are just different types of assets in this intent-based economy that are starting to produce Near fees and drive Near token. Now, as we bringing more of this autonomous agents to market, the reputation has become really important. The marketplace actually becomes a place where agents build their reputation. They build their track record. They build their history. The governance, right? We have House of Stake that is now coordinating the ecosystem, and capital are starting to converge onto Near token. So Near is becoming this core of the ecosystem. And so importantly, if you've been tracking Near, we've been very technology focused. We've built a protocol. We've been building a lot of different tech. At this point, the tech part, obviously there's still more work to do, but we have it. We have the stack. We have all the components. We have the products now that really bring this now to the user. And so we're switching from kind of our traditional next technology milestone to how we actually scale the adoption. How do we bring this now to billions of people around the world? Obviously, for AI, we're going to start here. But for intents, we're already global and already working with a lot of partners across all chains. We're going to continue expanding this ecosystem. This is a notable shift, again, where we've usually been kind of a technology first to how do we actually make these products really adopted. And importantly, this is technology that works for you, right? It's really about how we make everyone have more time and more leverage on their time, more, less stress in your life. How do we reduce the friction and silos of different information that you're dealing with right now? And how do we optimize for your success? That concept of user ownership, where the AI is working on for you, where the assets are staying in your control, the data belongs to you, and it's your choices, not somebody else's. This is really what Near vision has always been about. How do we empower everyone? And the technology is the medium to do that. But it's now for you to really bring this together. I want to thank everyone. This is going to be an amazing year for Near. We had a huge team putting this production. Thank you very much. We have a huge team of engineers and product people and go-to-market and marketing that actually bring this all together. There's an amazing leaders who are going to be speaking about each individual component of the stack, with George for Near AI, Bowen for Near Protocol, both today, and then Alex Shevchenko with Near Intents tomorrow. I encourage everyone to come and listen to them as well. And I want to thank you, and please enjoy NEARCON.